Hey guys, welcome to LALoveCreative, and today we're talking about how the SAMYANG 85 RF stacks up against other 85s on the market. Let's get to it.
You're like a song that I sing in the morning on a perfect holiday. You're like the warmth of the sun on my skin when clouds look gray. You're like the joy of a trip that is coming to a place with ocean view. You're like an old familiar friend when all is new. You're like the sound of the raindrops drumming on a first day summer day. You're like the scent of coffee brewing in the morning.
Now, one thing this channel is all about is, as much as I am all about tech and gear, I'm a big fan of trying to get more bang for my buck. Now, for my productions, I like to find the best but also affordable equipment for my projects. With that being said, I know everyone used to use me included, the Rokinon cinema lenses back in the day. I actually really like those. Those were my first introduction to cinema lenses. They were obviously just photography lenses rehoused with like D-click apertures and like focus rings. But I was really a fan of those lenses at the time. After a couple productions, you realize they were not the best quality and they would fall apart. So as far as Rokinon, SAMYANG, I'm familiar with the company and I've bought their lenses in the past. However, one of the lenses I just bought, the 85 SAMYANG, it's got me kind of conflicted. For one, I like the fact that this lens is affordable. It's about $400, $500 depending on where you get it. And to be honest, it's built really well. The build quality on this lens for a affordable lens is pretty much better than a lot of camera lenses on the market. It's metal, it's kind of light, but also at the same time, you can feel that it could take a beating and it probably would survive. It's really stylish looking. It almost looks like a Canon L series lens, but like with metal. And I really like that. And when you're looking for a third-party lens, you'd prefer it to actually look professional, so you don't show up on set and be like, here's my janky lens, you know? So I appreciate what SAMYANG's trying to do by making an affordable, decent quality build lens. But my issue with the SAMYANG has to do with the image quality. Now, when you shoot with the SAMYANG, comparing it to the Sigma 85 or the Canon 85 RF, obviously the Canon 85 RF is ridiculously priced, so you really can't compare it that much. But if you do, you realize quickly that the SAMYANG Rokinon 85 is interesting. Now, I don't really have the issues with the sharpness. The sharpness of this lens is pretty good. You put it compared to like a Sigma or a 85 RF, and the sharpness is not that bad. It has pretty good compression. The background is compressed really well, like most telephoto lenses. That's what you're looking for. And on top of that, it shoots at 1.4, I believe. And having a lens that fast at $500, $600 is really awesome. My main issue I have with the Rokinon SAMYANG 85 is the color cast. Color cast on this lens is not good. If you do not do a custom white balance on this lens, you are going to have a lot of issues in your edit. Every time I was shooting with this lens, I found that there was this green color cast that went into all of my images, and I was shooting raw, so I thought in my head, oh, I can just go in post and fix this. And yes and no. Yes, you can fix it, but with some time. And even with a custom white balance, like, using a white card or something like that, I still found it kind of prevalent inside the images. Now, is that a deal breaker for everyone? And maybe it might not be. You might like that type of image. But for me, I have a Sigma line of lenses, and most of those are pretty color accurate in my opinion. And every time I switched to the Rokinon 85, I felt like it was a huge jump, and I had to really go in there and try to fix it. Another issue I found with this lens that made it kind of weird too is it has a very heavy vignette. I like vignetting. Most of the time when I shoot, I add a vignette to my photography. In post, I kind of do that. I try to make it a little bit more filmic. Vignette is not a bad thing. Most lenses kind of vignette in general, unless they're very, very expensive. But the vignette on this one is so bad, I feel like it makes the image even darker than it needs to be. Now, that is easily correctable on, Lightroom. You can just go in there and get rid of the vignette and move with it. But when you're shooting on location and you're looking at that vignette, it kind of messes with the image and you start to think it's darker than it is. And it kind of just takes you out of your photography or videography experience. That's not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, this lens is more affordable, and for a lot of beginners, you probably won't notice these problems. This is just more of a professional looking at it, comparing it to my other lenses. Now, should you buy the Rokinon 85? Me personally, I would say you should probably save your money and go for a different lens. Now, when it comes to 85s, you have a few options. You have the SAMYANG, which is about 600 bucks. You can go the Canon 85 RF, but the cheaper version, which is about $600. I do not like that lens. The focusing system on that lens is really, really hard to deal with, so I wouldn't suggest that one. You can go the Sigma 85, which is about $1,000, but it is considerably heavier and really, really long. Or you can go the Canon RF 85, the L version, and that one's about $3,000. Now there's other manufacturers on the market. I think Tokina or Tamron has lenses, and maybe on this channel I'll try different 85s that are not Canon or Sigma. But if it was up to me and you really need an 85, I would personally go with a Sigma 85 if you can deal with the weight, or save up some money and go with the Canon RF. Now that's all I have to say about the Samyang 85mm lens. If you have any questions about photography or videography, hit me up in the comments below, and I will see you later.